Yes, a village dancer movie. Where have we seen this one before? I'm sure you can think of the name off the top of your head. Hello everyone, I am the Arty Dans and welcome back to SHOCKMANIA, one of YouTube's best sources of Asian horror movie news. Well, at least I think so. I hope you do too. In this review, we're going to look at a film called NARIK SUKMO, which kind of translates to pulling the soul. Anyway, before we go into the review, let's check out what this movie's about. Kena takes a short trip with her friend Ayu back to her village to try and forget about her recent messy breakup. Ayu's village is known for their famous dances, which Kena has a passion for. However, they arrive at the village on the eve of when a sacrifice will be performed, and the spirit of a dead dancer has taken a fancy in Kena, possessing her and making her the ideal candidate for the villagers. Now, I'm not really sure that this movie has set out what it's achieved to do. Before we get into it, I want to just ask you a question. Are you aware or do you know of the company called The Asylum? That's the US horror movie company that likes to take movies that are about to come out and kind of make their own knockoffs or spin-offs about it. We saw that recently when they ripped off Osgood Perkins' The Monkey with a movie called The Jolly Monkey, and they did the same thing when they ripped him off Megan with something called Morgan Killer Doll. Now those movies all had a couple things in common. Well, they weren't that great. They were all slasher films. I mean, they all came out around the same time or just before the movies that they were supposed to be either lampooning or imitating. This movie feels like, to me, this is just Badara Wuri, which you may know as the Dancing Village. It feels like a rip-off of that movie. We've got a lovely, beautiful dancer. We've got a young girl who's easily possessed, and we've got a ritual. The only problem is the filmmakers have pulled off absolutely nothing as good as Badara Wuri. Now, we all know the running joke of asylum movies, that they're usually really bad. And while this movie isn't really bad, it's just not a patch on the movie that it's trying to rip off. The main character in Badara Wuri is imposing, impressive, dominant, menacing, and of course, beautiful. She doesn't really want to hunt down and kill people. Rather, she's kind of looking for someone to tempt and someone to possess. But the dancer spirit in this movie isn't a patch on her. We don't really meet her until a fair bit into the movie. And that intro sequence isn't counted because we don't see her face. And not only that, but the dancer spirit is also not alone. She comes with this other supernatural beast thing. Admittedly, that beast is a little bit more frightening. So yes, this is another Indonesian village possession film. We've all lost count of how many of those have been made over the last few years thanks to the original KKN movie. And I know I keep harping on about it, but it's just not a very good possession film either. Even if it does contain a half-decent scene involving Kena levitating while still dancing. Actually, you know what? I will correct myself there. I will admit that there is a couple of possession scenes, the ones where she's dancing, that are quite good. To be able to perform traditional dances while trying to fight against the spirit while bawling her eyes out would not have been an easy scene to perform. And for that, Febby Rastanty deserves kudos. Well, I hate to say it, that's probably about the only thing I found enjoyable in this film. The typical mistaken identity, revenge plot feels badly explained, and the strange fist fight at the end of the movie just looked ridiculous. Why not ask a Silat martial arts expert to help choreograph that fight instead? Instead, these two characters attempt a weird street brawl where they're performing running, flying knee attacks and roundhouse punches telegraphed hours in advance. You know, I don't think a village possession movie had much hope of me scoring very highly. And that's the case with this one. So using the patent pending ghost rating, which stands for Great Horror or Stupid Trash, this is 2 ghosts and not a ghost more, although not a ghost less either. It's certainly not totally crap. Like I said, I did like those possession dancing scenes. I think there was 2 of them where the actress is bawling her eyes out while performing dancing. That would have taken a fair bit of effort, but everything else, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just Indonesian horror movie fatigue that I'm going through with all these carbon copy samey movies. At least, I'm going to give this one credit, at least there's no religion. That's good. No religion at all. So take that as a small win for this one. Anyway, have you seen NARIK? Oh, the name is awful. NARIK SUKMO. Have you seen this film? If so, what did you think of it? Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, all that other jazz. There's a Discord that you can join. There will be a link at the end of the video and a link in the comment section. Come along, join and have some fun with us. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of getting sick of all these samey Indonesian horror films.